Yeah. Yeah. Morning, everyone. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, where the screen is visible or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So myself, I'm Vijay. Like I hold 20 plus years of experience in different technologies. So working on this big data technologies, Hadoop, PySpark, Spark with Python, Spark with Scala, right? So as part of today's demo session, right? So cloud. Cloud is majorly utilized for storing, analyzing, and delivering data. In various form. See, first let me show you like on-premise advantage of cloud over on-premise. We talk about on-premises, right? We talk about on-premises. First thing is we need to set up we need to set up our own hardware infrastructure. And on top of it, OS installation. Later, purchasing database license. Next, like installation of database server. Designing database objects. Right. So to maintain all this, we require separate teams, right? We require separate teams. Like hardware team is required. Sorry. Operating system team. Networking team. Security team. Database administrators. Database administrators. Okay, all these are required. So if you are maintaining on premises, right, like hardware team, operating system team, networking team, security team, database administrators. But here in cloud, but here everything in cloud premises. We don't need to maintain all this. We no need to maintain all this. No need to maintain any infrastructure. No need to maintain any infrastructure. No need of any licenses. So here everything in the cloud environment, everything in the cloud environment, right? Yes. So data engineers, with the help of cloud services work on the data, make it structured and useful. So data engineers means data engineers responsible for smooth data flow, from the source to destination. So most of the students ask before this, right? A data engineer, data scientist. So here before that, data engineer, what it is? Preparation of data, preparing the data, cleansing data, transforming data, processing data. Okay, he performs preparing data and cleaning that, removing the unwanted data, transforming the data to the required, and processing the data. Data scientist, if you see like data engineer, the work of data scientist and the work of data analyst. Data scientist. Data scientist, and if we talk about this data analyst, strategizes for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past. So data scientist is also strategizes for the future, analyze the data, will analyze the data, identify the patterns, recommendations for the future. Recommendations for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past, analyze the data, summarizes the data of the past, visualizing the data. Okay. We talk like the data engineer. Does all the groundwork. For data scientist, and analyst. And say like more than 80% data analysis. More than 80% of data analysis work is done by data engineers. So data engineering involves data engineering. It involves what are the sources of the data? You need to find out what are the sources. Sources of data. What is the format? What is the format of the data? How to transform data? How to transform data, right? What is the destination? Destination of the data, target. Okay. So what are the sources of the data, format of the data, or transforming, how to transform the data, right? And what is the destination of the data or the target? Okay. Why Azure data engineering? Azure data engineering in demand. Why Azure data engineering in demand, right? Yes. For example, check this. An organization, right? It wants to increase, it wants to increase the business revenue by utilizing the customer behavioral data on the website. So the organization uses Azure for its operations. So it is hiring two persons. It is hiring two persons here. Azure data engineer and data scientist. First, this data engineer, right? First, he creates a data warehouse. Is going to create a data warehouse for the organization. A data warehouse is a storage of structured and queryable data. It contains data from various resources such as user logs, clicks, existing customer data. So data engineers, they structures this data, store it, and monitors the data in the warehouse. And secondly, this Azure data engineer, this data engineer communicates with the data scientist. Is going to communicate with the data scientist to understand the data requirement. He also communicates with the business team to know the business requirements of the organization. You need to keep in mind the business needs while dealing with this data. So that the data scientist next is going to create the insights from the processed data. And the business team requires some kind of dashboard tools for visualization for the key insights. So this data engineer will keep constantly process, analyze, and monitors the data. He creates data pipelines through which the data is integrated with the crucial stages of the data flow. He also makes sure that the pipeline is always The pipeline is always efficient and secure. This is the primary role of a data engineer, right? Okay. Not only this, many roles of this data engineer. Second. What are the other roles? Main one by one, I'll say the roles of a Azure data engineer. Azure data engineer. First one, designing. Designing entire data flow architecture. Secondly, creating data warehouse. Creating data warehouse for storage of analytical data. Third one is ETL. ETL, extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. This ETL process, it is one of the key tasks of data engineers. You are going to extract data from multiple sources, transform it into structured and queryable data, and then load this data into this company storage service for further business evaluations by the data scientists. Yeah, I'll come back to your queries, general queries, right, Mohib? At the end of, I'll give you the clarity, right? It's ETL, creating data warehouse, and ETL is one of the key tasks of it. And next is data monitoring. Data monitoring. ETL, right? ETL, the major responsibility of the ETL means, okay, in Azure Data Factory, right? It's a cloud ETL. ADF, we are talking about ADF, it is a cloud ETL for given by Microsoft. Data monitoring, the data monitoring also, data engineers make sure that the ETL is performed in a proper way and the data is available wherever it is required. And not only this data monitoring, data security also, right? The data security. Ensuring data security is also one of the major responsibility of data engineers. The data needs to be secure at each step of the process without any data leaks. And also like collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication, right? Collaboration and communication. They need to constantly communicate with the business team to check if the team needs the data insights, and also with the data scientist to deliver the data in their as per their requirement. Right. Analytics. So the data engineers, right? Data engineers analyze the data and transform it into structured and useful format. They need to have the strong analytic knowledge, right, to perform this analysis. And also something automation. They have to automate some of certain processes which require minimal human intervention. So these are the main responsibilities, right? So designing entire data flow architecture, creating data warehouse, extract, transform, load, data monitoring, data security, collaboration and communication, analytics and automation, right? Yes. So now just I'll provide you this knowledge on this data engineering products. Okay. Azure data engineering products. Azure SQL. Azure Data Lake. Azure Synapse. Azure Data Factory. Azure Databricks. Azure Cosmos DB. It's a kind of Azure Cosmos DB. It's a kind of NoSQL database in the cloud. Azure Streaming. And Azure Key Vault. Azure Key Vault. Yes. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Azure Synapse, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Streaming, Azure Key Vault. As a ADF developer, as a Databricks developer, you'll be communicating with all these products, right? Yes, as a ADF developer, as a Databricks developer, as a data. So you will be communicating with these services or these products. So just I'll give overview about these things, right? Yes. Azure SQL. Azure SQL, right? It is a cloud. It is what? A cloud or DBMS. It is a cloud or DBMS database. All your general queries, I'll be giving time for your, I'll take 10 minutes. So that I'll come back to your general queries, right? It is a cloud or DBMS database of Microsoft in Azure. Understand here, it is a cloud or DBMS database of Microsoft in Azure. It is for OLTP operations, online transactional processing, day-to-day operations, right? OLTP operations. OLTP, online transactional processing, it captures end user transactions. It is not for data warehouse. It is not for data warehouse. Azure Data Lake. Distributed file system. Distributed file system with unlimited data storage in cloud. Distributed file system with unlimited data storage in cloud. That is data lake. We heard about this. If you have knowledge on this big data like Hadoop, we have got HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, on premises DFS, data lake. It's a cloud DFS, distributed file system. You can say it is a repository. The repository for large varieties structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. Simply, I can say it is a cloud ETL or cloud-based ETL. It is a cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure. It is a data integration service. Data integration. It integrates this OLTPs and the data warehouse systems, right? Raw data coming from one side and process data coming from other side. They're being transformed as per the destination, right? It permits. So data coming from multiple sources, reformatting it into analytical models, save these models, performing querying, visualizations, and reporting, right? So this area of creates workflows. For data movement and transformation. Creates workflows for data movement and transformation. Azure Databricks. Simply, it is Apache Spark based. Apache Spark. Data analytics platform. It is Apache Spark based data analytics platform for the Microsoft Azure cloud services, right? It brings data engineering, data science, and business together. Azure Synapse. Azure Synapse, right? Yes, I can say it is a cloud or DBMS. Cloud or DBMS for data warehouse. For analytics. For batch processing. Parallel processing. Later I discuss in brief about this. So it's a cloud RDBMS for data warehouse, for analytics, and for batch processing, and for parallel processing. Azure streaming. I can say it is a real-time analytics, real-time analytics and event processing. So it is an event processing engine for analyzing and processing high volumes of data streams. Streaming data. What do you mean by streaming data? Data which keeps on incrementing, data which keeps on generating, the two from multiple sources, the two simultaneously. Cosmos DB, Azure Cosmos DB. Azure Cosmos DB, right? Yes. Simply, I can say it is a Azure cloud-based NoSQL database. And I can say Azure cloud-based NoSQL database. It is a database for modern application development, right? So more I'll be discussing about it later. Azure Key Vault. Azure Key Vault. Secure key management. Secure key management. To protect the data in cloud. Okay, fine. Observe this. Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake, Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Streaming, and Azure Key Vault. These are the main products, right? Yes. Job market. Azure Data Engineer, right? As a ADF developer or Databricks developer, like Azure Data Engineer, right? So according to Microsoft, every year, lakhs of new companies registering themselves on Azure. So more than 95% of the Fortune 500 companies are utilizing Azure cloud services. They're in turn increasing the number of job opportunities for Azure data engineers constantly. A major companies beginning to trust and adopt Azure, organizing shifting to Azure and utilizing it regularly, and they are in need of professionals who work on this Azure and they handle this huge data. According to the pay scale, right, data engineers have got the highest average salary as closely as to this data scientist. So the two top two highest paying jobs are, according to the survey of global knowledge, the top two highest paying jobs, data engineer, data scientist. So pursuing this data engineer will never let you down, right? So These are the emerging data engineers, data engineering, right? These jobs are the emerging jobs, right? So even if we talk companies such as Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, all these are interested in hiring data engineers with great salary packages. Even tech giants like including Google, Apple, Cognizant, Walmart, they're offering high paying jobs for these data engineers especially, right? Right. So if you got, there are no prerequisites for this. So like the basic, if you got knowledge of basic SQL, so remaining everything, I'll be going with this. And basic SQL and if possible, basic Python, basics of Python for especially for Databricks. Okay, but people who go for ADF, right? So here, if you want only ADF, you can first I'll be going with ADF, Azure Data Factory. Next, I'll go with Azure Databricks. Next, Synapse Analytics. So ADF, I can simply say it is a zero coding ETL. There is no coding required in this ADF, right? Yes. Azure Data Factory, right? No coding is involved in that. Zero coding involved in that. In Databricks, you'll be seeing some kind of coding. So yes. Any other queries, right? 1 second. Let me show you the course content. What I'm
So, how long it would be ADF training?
just give me a second, right? ADF, ADF, Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, Azure SQL Server, SQL databases, Key Vault, all this. Azure Data Factory. What is Azure Data Factory? Top level, right? Pipeline. What is a pipeline? Creating pipelines, debugging pipelines, publishing pipelines, linker service, blob, SQL database, SQL server. What is data set? Data set for Avro format, binary format, for CSV, for Excel, for JSON, ORC, Parquet, XML, in right. And variables, creating a variable, set variable, copy data, general source, sync, mapping, settings, right? So yes, copy data, Databricks notebook, Azure function, lookup, stored procedure, metadata, delete, and internals conditions filtering for each if condition, switch until, triggers, type scheduling, integration runtime, IR, self-hosted, linker self-hosted, all this, right? And apart from this, uh, what is data flow, mapping data flow debugging, transformations, validations, and nearly 50 exercises I'm going to discuss, right? See this, all this, how to copy activity. This 50 activities I'm going to discuss. And coming to this Azure Databricks, before I go with Azure Databricks, I'll be providing you that knowledge of this big data, Hadoop, Spark. I'll be providing the knowledge of this big data, Hadoop, and Spark, and this cloud computing and basics of this Azure before I go with Azure Databricks. Databricks cluster management, displaying cluster, right? Starting a cluster, terminating a cluster, deleting a cluster, cluster information, cluster access control, types of clusters, Databricks pools, Databricks without pools, cluster mode, and Databricks utilities, Databricks integration with this blob storage, Azure Data Lake, Azure SQL database, Synapse, Snowflake, right? And Databricks handling multiple file formats like CSV, JSON, Parquet, Excel, XML, ORC, Avro, batch processing, historical data load, incremental data load, date transformations, aggregations, joins operations, window union operations, Databricks, what is streaming and process of streaming using PySpark API. So I'll be discussing along with this Databricks, PySpark, Spark with Python implementation, right? PySpark data frames, different data frame functionalities, and Lakehouse, Delta Lake, workflows in Databricks, introduction to workflows, and Azure Synapse, overview of pools, dedicated SQL pools, serverless SQL pools, Apache Spark pools, and Data Explorer pools, and this using Azure Synapse Analytics to query data lake, and Azure Storage account integration with Azure Synapse, triggers, and Azure SQL database integration with Azure Synapse, and the incremental load to Azure Synapse, logging and notifications to Key Vault integration, deep dive into copy activity in Azure Synapse, and data flow introduction, right here, data flows, selecting the rows, filter, join, union, lookup, window, pivot, alter rows, SCD types of transformations, Spark components, Spark, and all these things, right? And just to go through this course content. So the duration will be for total this Azure Data Factory, Databricks, and Azure Synapse. It will be like a 3 months duration. For ADF, takes 40 days. For if people who go for only ADF, it is 40 days. And for this entire Azure data engineering, it is 3 months. Fine. Yeah. So the prerequisites only the basic SQL, and for Databricks, if you have got a basic of Python, that too, I'll provide the syntaxes of one or two sessions, all that Python syntaxes. It looks very simple, like normal English statements. And people who are from non-programming, okay, people who are going asking about ADF, right? Yes, ADF, say ETL tool, zero coding required there. Everything will be performing drag and drop. Okay. So tomorrow also everyone can attend the session same time at 10 o'clock using the same link to see more on these things, right? Tomorrow and day after tomorrow also people can attend the sessions to see more on this. So it is a continuation to what we have discussed today, not the same thing. Fine. And you will be getting the session video. Okay. You will be getting the session video of each and every session, means videos. And second thing is soft copy of this class notes, assignments and tasks to work, and a WhatsApp group for technical discussions. Fine. And timings, let me make it clear about the timings, right? For the first 10 days, it starts at 10 a.m. Later, after, I'm making it clear about the timings before itself, right? Before you go with the payment, it starts at 9 a.m. For the first 10 days, we are going with at 10 o'clock. Later, it will be at 9 o'clock, right? First 10 days to 2 weeks. Fine. Yeah. So being regular to the sessions, and all the sessions will be interactive sessions. I'll be keeping you in unmuted status. So you'll be responding any queries immediately. You can unmute and ask that queries then and there. Even if you've got any queries while working, you can take the snap of it and post in the WhatsApp group that we have. And anybody can answer, I'll be answering it. No need to wait until the next class. And when we get the soft copy of notes, the total, okay, if topic wise, every day you will be getting the notes, right? Topic wise, you will be getting the notes clearly, what we are discussing, right? Clear notes will be there for all the things what you are discussing, right? Yes. And also about the subscription, how to get that free subscription and how to extend it, the subscription, right? I'll be discussing. It's a daily 1 hour class, maybe, right? Shilpa, okay. Azure account creation, step by step, I'll show you, right, how to create and how to get the subscription for the free, right? Fine. Yeah, any other queries, right? Yes, Muhib, right? Muhib. Yeah, first I'll go with ADF. People who wants ADF, first I'll be going with ADF. After that, I'll go with Azure Databricks and PySpark. Yes. So ADF as a ADF developer and Azure Databricks, right? So tomorrow I'll be just briefing you about this ADF versus ADB. So Azure Data Factory and Databricks, what you do there, right? I'll just provide you the knowledge on that. Yes. Yes, Shilpa, ADF enough for Snowflake integration. Yes. Fine. Okay. Any other queries, right? Fine. So if I'm done with the queries, I will sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same time at 10 o'clock using the same link. More discussion on this, right? Fine. Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.